Hey, it's Lee. Welcome to Business Problem Solved. Today, I want to talk to you about a pie. Um, Not one of those filled pastry things. No, 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 not one of them. That might surprise you. Yes, I am from the north of England, and it's one of our staple foods. Um, no, I want to talk to you about pie. And pie is an acronym that some people have used in the past to describe the key success or critical success factors for career success. But I also believe that these are the critical success factors for any change team. For any team that leads change within an organization, I definitely encourage that you understand and 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 apply the pie. Dear me. Anyway, so pie. P of the pie stands for performance. This is the bread and butter. I mean, I feel a bit quite hungry already. There's a few food related things, but yeah, this is the bread and butter of what we do. This is our performance. This is doing what we say we're going to do. But this is not enough to be successful. You can't just do an amazing day's work and expect and hope that everybody recognizes what you do. Everybody gives you the credits that you believe you deserve, and then more amazing opportunities come from that. But it is the fundamental or foundation part of career success. You've got to be able to do what it is that you're doing, or that you're expected to do. So performance is has a is 10% of this overall pie. Doing what you say you're going to do, and your level of performance contributes to 10% of your level of success. So, as a change team, leading a change team, are you meeting your targets? Are you delivering the change initiatives? Do you have the projects? Are you building capability? Are you coaching, supporting, whatever type of change team you are? Are you delivering a level of performance that is acceptable and that meets the expectations of the business and the teams that you are there to support? 10% of the challenge comes down to performance. The I is 30% of the challenge. And in terms of a critical success factor for you leading your change team, the I stands for image. So when you talk about your team, and I often encourage the change teams that I support to ask people when they say, or when you say your change team, what do people think about? What words do they associate with the change team, the team name that you've spoken about? Not each of the individuals, because that'll be based on the level of relationship and what the individuals have done. But when you say X change team, or the lean team, or the agile team, or the improvement team, or one of my former change teams, the operation network improvement team, when you say those words, what's the image that's conjured up in the minds of the people that you've asked that question to? Image contributes 30% of this challenge. And if you've got a decent image, if people think about you positively, and you've got a really strong image of delivering because your performance backs it up, then that's only 40% of the overall challenge. 10% performance, 30% image. Image, what is conjured up when you say the team name? What can you do to try to build a stronger image? Do you have a brand? Do you have a logo? Do people understand what it is that you do, the purpose, and how do you communicate? And if there's only three parts of this pie, of this puzzle, and the first two parts only contribute to 40%, then the last one is the biggest one, and it's arguably the one that people feel most uncomfortable about. E stands for exposure. How many people know the team? How many people have got a strength of relationship with the team? How many things and how many ways do you communicate out for people to be able to see the impact that the team are having? How many senior leaders are aware of the value of the team? As a leader of a change team, it is arguably your role to maximize the level of exposure that the team get with the senior leaders and other departments. As a senior leader of the change team, or as a leader of the change team, it is your role to clarify and agree and create the image, the brand, the value, the vision, or the values and the vision of the change team, but then expose them to the organization, because exposure is 60%. A lot of change teams rely purely on performance, rely purely on doing what they've always done to make a difference, and become frustrated and challenge when they face, and one of the challenges they face is a degree or a level of resistance to the changes, or to them, or to the change that they're trying to influence. And I genuinely believe that Pi can contribute to delivering a greater success. So Pi stands for performance, 10% of the puzzle; image, a further 30% of the puzzle; but exposure, 60% of this puzzle. So if you do what if you do what you're supposed to do, tick the P. If you've got a strong brand, if you've got a strong image, and when people have got clarity of what it is you do, your purpose, your vision, your values, and if people have got that clarity, then you have got the right image, and you're there to support and help 30% of the challenge. But then the more people that are aware of it, the more people that you're sharing that message with, that's the exposure part. That's 60% of this overall challenge. And as the leader of these change teams, as a leader in the organization, it is your role to expose the team to more people, expose the values, the vision, the activities that the team are on with, to help them overcome the resistance. They won't be seeing as much resistance if you are leading them in a way that creates the right foundations for them. So when they engage with Bob in finance, Bob is already fully aware of why the change team exists, the vision, the values, and the images there, that they're helpful. They always deliver a great performance. If Bob is aware before the team arrive, then it's going to be far easier for the team to land that change. So when you're thinking about your change team, if resistance is something that you face, please consider Pi and what you can do to increase your chances of success. Do you always do what you say you're going to do? And is your performance where you want it to be? 10% hygiene factor, first thing that you need to address. Second thing, your vision, your values, your brand, your image. The I is image, 30% of the overall challenge. Do you have a logo? Do you have a strap line? Do you have a colouring brand? Do you have a newsletter? Do you have a set way to communicate? Do you disrupt the pattern in the emails? Do you stand out? Do you have posters? Do you have a slot in the on the company webpage? Do you have posters in every canteen? Do you have things that people can recognize and instantly know who the change team are, why they exist, and how they help? And that allows people to then talk about the value that you bring without you having to be there, or without members of your team having to be there. So that's image. And then exposure. How many places are you? Can you get to more places? Can you get on the agenda of more meetings? Can you get to more roadshows? Can you get in more publications? Can you get and deliver more communications in a way that will get people to sit up or stand up and take notice of the value and the work that you and your team are trying to deliver? I'm currently delivering a group coaching program called Overcoming Resistance, and one of the things that I talk about is this pie, because I fundamentally believe that if you're doing what you say you're going to do, and you're delivering a great performance, and you've got a really strong image, branding, coloring, logo, strapline, all of these things, and people are aware of you, and there's enough people talking about you, then no matter the change, no matter what it is that your team are going to do, they've got a greater chance of success, because more people, they're not the best kept secret. They've not got to build the relationships. They've not got to sell the dream of what it is that the team are there to do. And as leaders of change teams, it's our role to expose the team to more people, expose the team to more departments, expose the team to more communication channels, and build a really strong image and brand for this internal team that you've got, to build the credibility. If we think about the trust equation, reliability, that's just about performance. So reliability, then credibility. Credibility is about image, and what do people think when they say your name and the team name. And then intimacy is level of relationship, and that comes from exposure and how many people know. So when you think about the trust equation, reliability, credibility, intimacy over self-orientation, then by focusing on performance, image, and exposure, you're satisfying the top of that. And then as long as your intention is to help other people, then you will build trust. You will build trust. You will reduce resistance. You will increase connection, develop relationships, and ultimately help you and your team deliver more for themselves and also for the business. So if you're a leader of a change team, I strongly recommend that you consider pie and just score your team based on it. Performance. Do you always do what you say you're going to do? If you had to score your performance out of 10, what would you give it? And what do you need to do to increase that by 1? Image. Do you have a strong brand? Do you have a vision? Do you have values? Do you have a color scheme? Do you have a strapline? What can you do to further reinforce the image of the team? And then exposure. What can you do to get out there, build more relationships, and make more people aware of the value that you bring as a team, as a person, to help set the team up for success going forward? So yeah, so there you go. We touched on overcoming resistance. Fundamentally, this is about pie and what you can do to set your change team up for further success. Don't just rely upon performance and just doing a good job, because often that's not enough, because this is about connection, this is about relationships, and this is about other people under building trust and believing that you can help them make the difference that they want to make. Have an amazing week, and we will chat again next.